Welcome back, everybody. My name is Tom Olsen. The name of the show is Olsen on Law, every Saturday at 11 a.m. right here on News 96.5. Chrissy, let's take a few minutes to talk about Prince, because everybody is talking about Prince's death last week. Very sad and tragic, of course.
Only 57 years old.
Yes, a young man, young man. And the unusual thing about Prince right now is that apparently he died without a will. And so what happens now? And I want to start by saying this. A lot of people still call me and say, Tom, I want to have a will because I don't want my money to go to the state of Florida. Well, that's not true. If you don't have a will, Florida statutes is going to write a will for you, and the same thing for Minnesota.
Exactly.
Now, we use the Uniform Probate Code here in Florida like a lot of other states do, so I suspect that in Minnesota they're also using the Uniform Probate Code. So I suspect that the same thing that would happen here in Florida would be happening in Minnesota.
Exactly.
Okay. So when you pass away without a will, the statutes say that it will be dictated what happens to your wealth through intestate succession. It tells you what happens, and there's really no big surprises there. It says if you're married, it's all going to your spouse. If you have no spouse, it's going to your children. If you have no children, it's going to your parents. If you have no parents, it's going to your brothers and sisters. So Prince had no spouse, had no children. I assume that his parents are deceased because they're not talking about him.
Correct.
So that leaves his siblings. So then the interesting thing about it is that Prince only has one full sibling, a sister, and has several half siblings. So how does it get split between full sibling and half sibling? Well, in fact, the intestate succession statute answers that question for us, and it says that a full blood will get twice as much as a half blood. Stated another way, his half siblings will get one half the amount that his full sibling will get.
Exactly. And if he would have had a will, or if they find a will, but right now intestate succession means that may not have been his wishes. He may have wanted all of his siblings to get something equally, but the way it is now, they will not.
Yeah, I think I also heard about maybe a niece stepping in. And by the way, if Prince had any siblings who were deceased, whether they were half or full, the children of that deceased sibling would take in place of the parent. Yeah. So that may be how a niece may be getting in on it.
Exactly. And the sister, from what we understand, his sister has opened up a probate in the state of Minnesota.
Okay. So once you open up a probate, what you do is you give notice to all the heirs and all the potential heirs, usually by certified mail. They know that it's going on, but usually there is a period of 3 months in which anybody who has a will or a trust for Prince would have an opportunity to step in and say, wait a minute, that's not how things are going down. Here's Prince's will, here's Prince's trust. They have a period of 3 months to get that filed and use that instead if they find such a thing.
Thank you, Tom. Yes, and I think that's where maybe people are a little unclear. But if there is something or a document out there, they would have that opportunity to bring that forward. If not, it will proceed. And like you always tell people, hey, that means then you're leaving it up to the judge and the court to make the plan and actually determine who's going to be in charge.
Yeah, and by the way, we're always talking about people avoiding probate because it's so expensive. Florida statutes recommends an attorney fee of 3% of the estate for attorney's fees. 3% of $300 million. Ooh, I like to do the math on that. I'm available. I'm in Florida, but I'm available. Hey, folks, my name is Tom Olsen. The name of the show is Olsen on Law. You're listening to News 96.5.